Well, welcome to the cold New South Wales North Coast. Well, it's not that cold, not compared to Victoria and Tassie, I guess, but it is cold. Today, I'm going to be talking about your prep for cans and your basic training preps. And let's just say that the time is always now. Your body and mind are always in a state of absorption. And in that sense, you're never not training it. So the point here is, even when you're moving slowly or in recovery, make sure that you move well. When you feel tired and even exhausted, ask yourself what you're thinking, because you're training your thoughts and your bodily responses all the time. And often athletes will obsess over what they don't do well. And paradoxically, because of the negative weight to that thinking, will avoid working with it and instead will disassociate, fueling even more negative ideas and beliefs. And it's easy to see how this flows into our racing. So poor form, physically and psychologically, follow each other. They're made up of essentially the same stuff. Poor form leads to poor thought patterns, and poor thought patterns lead to poor form. It just makes sense when you really think about it. And while this stays unconscious, the cycle continues unabated, and we'll level up the blame for our poor racing on luck and fate. And luck and fate have nothing to do with it. And they only impact our racing and training when we allow it to continue unconsciously. So all we really need to do is track it, see it, be aware of it, find it. So the practice then is to make the unconscious conscious, to simply become more aware of what you think and what you feel and find the link between them. Like a tracker following tracks in the desert, you begin to track your own thoughts and the impact that they're having on your body. Because that's important. It's energy that's getting drained. That tracking trains the neural pathways in your brain to change the pattern to something that is more in line with what you want. It becomes a flow, because there is a flow between you and these thought patterns. And then there's a flow on into your body. And ultimately, there's a flow on into your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations. They're all made of the same stuff, your energy. And you need to know your own energy, because like an untrained body, an untrained mind will react to impulse. And with every impulse, a reactive mind will soon run out of energy and capitulate to the process. Just as a poorly trained body will flag and run out of energy and blow up. It will just bust a fuffle valve. That's what happens. So as an athlete, you need to forget about this idea that you need to overcome yourself, that you need to overcome your body, and that you need to overcome your mind, because it's all made of the same stuff, you. So this energy that flows out of your mind flows into your body and then into the outer world. The separation's just an idea. Your mind creates worlds, and your words create your existential reality. The idea that we overcome our minds in a race, it isn't true. That mind is creating that reality. Feed it good food, and I guarantee you it'll serve you well on race day and everywhere in between as well. Serve it junk food and you'll get the opposite. So we need to be aware of what we think. In each session, try to think about where this session applies to your racing. I do that when I program surges in pace, climb, short hills, flats, etc. It all applies. And the reason it's important is because on race day, you need to draw on the confidence that you have it covered in training, right? And if we don't hold that awareness, the knowledge is unconscious on race day. And that can keep you stuck in an old paradigm on race day, even if you've improved. So as we shift physically through these sessions, we need to remind ourselves of where and how it applies. On race day, when we need to take action, the knowledge helps us take action. And importantly, to be able to take a risk and move past the mental limitations that keep us bound to what we think we are capable of. We're more than that. We're bigger than that. It's going through us. We're not going through it. So that helps you not to cook your training. It's better to slightly underdo it than it is to slightly overdo it. And at any moment, consistency is king. physically and psychologically, the consistency is king. What thoughts are moving into your body? What do they represent? What energy is behind them? Is it enthusiasm? Is it motivation? Is it will? Is it desire? Or is it a whole list of what you can't do, or a whole list of what you should do, or a whole list of what you must do? They're two completely different things. Thanks for listening.